Holy fuck, could it be another video in the same day? This is like some fucking Bizarro World shit. What's up, boils and ghouls? I am Jeff.
I'm Bethany.
And this is the Horror Fiend. Let's jump right into the shit. Today is not like the other videos that you guys have seen. This is the second video. You guys are getting treated to another one for the simple fact of the video that we just uploaded. You guys were supposed to get last week, so this is like the one we were gonna do this week. So holy fuck, a 2-for-1. It's like a discount at the Dollar Tree. So today, if you guys can't tell by the theme of what we are wearing, we are gonna be doing everybody's favorite. I want to say child friendly ish. The man of everybody's dreams, I guess, would be the best one.
That's a good one.
There we go. Today is going to be the worst to best Nightmare on Elm Street movies, not including Freddy vs. Jason, because it is not a Nightmare on Elm Street, nor is it a Jason.
Friday the 13th.
Exactly, Friday the 13th, if we're getting technical. Yeah, so today it's just about that. We're going to start, like, worst, which I'm pretty sure all of you are going to know what the worst is. And we're going to go all the way to the best, which I am sure a lot of you are going to know what the best is. So with that said, let's get started. We talked about it. We deliberated about it. We were going back and forth with certain
We argued
entries
before we settled.
Yeah, with certain entries on this list, but we will explain everything. So starting off, the worst, the crappiest of them all, and I'm saying this like this is crappier than, I don't know about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but it's pretty damn crappy. Okay, this is a horrible, horrible movie, and it is the worst Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, the remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Abomination, the CGI movie with a little bit of humans. So.
Should have been just left off the list, in my opinion. But they did it, so we're talking about it.
We have to discuss it. It comes down to, it is a part of Nightmare on Elm Street as much as all of us. I know. Like, what the fuck was Netflix thinking about putting that on Netflix? Like, seriously, who's gonna watch that? I mean, I probably will, just to torture myself a little bit. But like, let's jump into it. Why we think it's the worst. Me personally, I've said it a million times over to everybody who will fucking listen. The CGI absolutely fucking destroys this movie. And I'm talking about, like, okay, so like, let's...
I have a perfect example of what you're talking about.
Yeah, you take this real quick.
The part where Freddy comes out of the wall while Tina's in bed, which is in the original, not rebooted version, is my favorite. It's creepy. I think they used like a screen of latex.
Yeah, it was a practical effect.
It looked creepy.
And it was amazing.
And in the remake, all you see is this weird, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was horrible.
It was CGI. It looked like fucking fake
Jello.
Water. Yeah, like Jello, and it wasn't even real. Like, it was literally CGI, and it was just fucking horrendous. It was disgusting. I hated it. The way they made Freddy look, like, I get it, and I dig the idea of making him look like an actual burn victim. I think that is a good idea. Practically, make it a practical effect. Making what they did and making it CGI was just fucking bad, and
it was very cheesy.
Yeah, it was cheesy, and like, we're not talking the good kind of cheese. Like, we're not talking like Freddy's dead cheese. We're not talking like that kind of cheese. We're talking about, like, this is some stinky ass from under your nuts cheese, and it was just fucking, it was disgusting. And there's only one saving grace to this movie, in my opinion, and that was literally, and like, I take absolutely zero away from Jackie Earle Haley. He did the best that he could with the shit that he was given. I love his mannerisms. Like, some of the shit that he did in the movie made me chuckle. Like, I'm fucked up in the head, okay? Like, when he's like leaning over the dog and it's all cut up and he's like, I was just trying to pet it. I fucking laughed my ass off at that because I thought it was funny. Like, that's the kind of humor Freddy has. It's really dark and fucked up, and it wasn't supposed to be funny, but I laughed. Everybody was like looking at me in the theater, and I'm like, yeah. It's like, I get it. And then like, I love the scenes like where he fucks his little mannerisms, like with his claws, like when he's walking around. I love that. Like, that was something, like, Robert Englund is so, like, I don't want to say his Freddy's like charming, but his Freddy is just so fucking lovable. Even though he's like this fucked up character, you know, he's so lovable. There was one point in like the late 80s, early 90s where Freddy was dominating everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And
on everything, everybody loved him. A child murderer, everybody loved him.
Child murderer. And clearly in this movie, like, everybody's always speculated, you know, even Cravens came out and said things, but there was always the speculation of, was he a child molester? And in this movie, it pretty much just shoved it in your fucking face.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a hint to it. It wasn't, you know, just like, I'm going to make you a little uncomfortable. It's a, look, here, this is exactly what this guy is.
Exactly. And, you know, it's, for people who have children, like I have kids, she has kids, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of uncomfortable to watch because, you know, we watch all these other Freddy movies and and like everybody that you normally see him killing are like teenagers.
Yeah.
You know? But in this one, it's like little kids, and you know, even in Freddy vs. Jason, it's more little kids. But just in general, like I don't like how they did it. I don't like how they just shoved it in your face. I did kind of dig the concept of like maybe what if he was innocent?
Yeah, that was a new, like interesting a new part to it. But that didn't last long. That was like 2 seconds of the film, and then it was like, oh no, he is guilty.
Exactly, and like. But literally the only saving grace of this movie, like the cast in my opinion, and like I'm not taking anything away from the actors, but again...
No, they were told, I heard at a convention when some of them were there, that they were actually told to be like that because, you know, they hadn't slept.
Yeah.
So it didn't work well though.
Yeah, and I just... In general, I think all of us could agree. Again, I gotta get used to saying this. Like, you guys, by all means, comments down there, do it. Like and share, you know, subscribe. I gotta put all that crap out there. I'm not used to it yet. I'm not used to like promoting it that way. But give us your comments. We want to know what you guys think about it. In our opinion, the biggest shit show of shit shows is the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Going into the next movie, which is, you know, just barely better than it. I don't know. It's probably a drastic better. And this one we kind of argued about because. Like a lot of you guys might not agree either.
Yeah, a lot of you are probably going to argue about this.
Yeah, this is going to go all over the place, and we will explain why. But so the one right after the reboot is going to actually be Freddys Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And like I said, we went back and forth about this one. Yeah, we went back and forth on this because I was like, well, I don't know if I would put it like just after the reboot. But she made some valid points that actually kind of make sense to me, and I'm actually going to kind of give the floor to her about it. We're still going to discuss it, and we're going to like be more, like obviously like what we always do. We're going to give the topics and like just our opinions on it. So, with that said, I want you to go ahead and tell them what you told me and what actually got me to agree with why Freddys Revenge is the next one on the list.
Okay, so for me, the main thing is a lot of it took place not in the dream world. Like, you know, there was always that confusion of, is he dreaming, is he not? But in this one, he was not. The whole merging Freddy and Jesse together just didn't do it for me. And for me, this movie, out of the whole series, stands out like a sore thumb. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It doesn't fit with the rest of the series. And sometimes that's really good and that's cool, but it doesn't work with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, like, at all. So one of the parts that irritated me the most in this movie was the party scene. Okay, he's slashing away, he's having fun, and then he sees, what was Lisa, right?
Lisa.
And then he like looks at her and he has these glazed over I'm so in love eyes. He's still in Freddy's body, mind you. But he has this I'm so in love eyes, and then he walks off and stops killing. That's not Freddy. Like it was too much for me. I couldn't. No.
And that's kind of like when you brought those points up to me. Like that's kind of why I was like, okay, you know, I can understand that. Like, look at every Nightmare on Elm Street movie, even the crappy one. It is a dream world. You know, it's always involved in dreams. Sometimes Freddy will come out to the real world a little bit. You know, Nightmare 1 is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Even the New Nightmare is a perfect example of that. But this one, there was no, you know, really dreams and then real world. It was just like a merger of both. It was like Mortal Kombat fucking Annihilation, where it's like Earth Realm and Nether Realm just fucking bloop together, and it was very like when you pointed that out to me, I was like, that kind of does make sense. It takes away from what Nightmare on Elm Street is, and while there are some awesome,
there's some good scenes.
Yeah, like I love, like we were talking about it before we started recording this. We talked about the coach getting dragged into the bathroom with a towel.
He gets thoroughly spanked
like that
before he gets slashed.
And he liked it too.
Oh, that's what I was thinking when I saw it. I was like, oh, he so likes that.
Hey. But that scene was awesome because I like how you don't see anything happening. You just see like a ghost pretty much looks like, you're just dragging him there, whooping his ass with the towels, and then the slash marks. And then the reveal of Jesse, wearing the glove, I thought that was cool as shit. I thought that was a really badass scene. Another scene that I really enjoyed, which I think we were talking about, is like, y'all are going to give me shit for this, and I don't give a crap. The dance scene where Jesse's in his room doing the little dance, and I fucking laughed my ass off of that. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was fun.
I like that scene. That scene was fun.
Yeah, it's just a fun scene, And,
it was totally 80s. It was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It fit well.
Great coming out of the closet for a lot of people, especially that actor. I know all of you know by now, but the actor actually is gay, and he's a great guy. I've met him, and he's a sweetheart. He's super cool. I love that dance. I would do it. No, never mind. Cut that part out.
We're gonna put that on video.
Oh shit.
Next week.
No. But like there were definitely some good moments, like the Grady scene where Jesse's in the room with Grady, and then they like
Grady.
cut when Jesse like cuts himself, and then Freddy like comes out. Or that scene where like Jesse's screaming and then you see Freddy's eye looking. Like I thought those were like really disturbing visuals, and I thought that was cool.
I didn't care for that scene too much, but I like the after part when he's looking in the mirror and you see Freddy and he's really dark and he's really creepy and he's just like, that I really liked.
Yeah.
And he was, and to be fair, in Freddys Revenge, he was a darker Freddy. He wasn't like a big old cheese ball.
Yeah, it was a continuance of the original Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger, which I thought was really cool.
But there was no revenge going on.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
The way they went, I don't know why you name it Freddy's Revenge, because there was no revenge going on.
Yeah.
There was no any of that.
And so ultimately, that's why Freddy's Revenge is number 7 on our list. Going into the next one, we are gonna go into again, some people might be all like, why this one, but like we're gonna explain. So next is going to be Dream Child, which is Nightmare 5. Dream Child for me was
it's the knocked up Alice.
Yeah, that's like the main focus. Like the beginning of Dream Child, you don't know what the hell's going on. You just see like body parts moving, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on right now, and just, it's not just that, but like the characters aren't really that memorable. While there are some
there's memorable scenes,
yeah, there are,
but the characters were so boring. You didn't care if they lived or died.
Exactly. Like there are definitely like three of the best deaths probably in the Nightmare franchise is in this movie. Which is why a lot of people might be all like, what the fuck? Because Dan's death with the motorcycle when they're getting that fuel injection and all that shit. I thought that was hilarious. I love that whole thing. And like that looked badass, like some Mad Max shit. And like, so that scene obviously was really cool. The Greta scene.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite in this movie is... the whole scene for me is, it looks like a nightmare. So, and it's funny because even when she wakes up and she's like actually choking and you look around, it's like that still looks creepy. It's kind of like Beetlejuice, whenever they're like the background, it's all dark. It looks like a nightmare, or like Bill and Ted when the bunny's chasing. It has that feel like you're stuck in a nightmare. So even when she was awake, she was kind of stuck in a nightmare. So when she passed out, everybody looked creepy. It had the whole nightmare feel to it. Like I felt like I was having a nightmare.
Exactly. And for me, when I was little and I saw that fucking death, like that shit messed with me. I didn't want to eat. Like I was like, fuck that, man. Freddy gonna come kill my ass.
And it was raw too. It was all just, it was so gross.
Exactly. Like it was fucking awesome. And then like the scene when Alice opens the fucking microwave, or not microwave, what the hell I think. When she opens the fridge door and then Greta like pops out and like the food like coming out of her mouth and like all the shit rotting. It was just like, oh my god. Yeah. It was just really disgusting, really disturbing. And I loved it. I thought that was honestly, I don't know exactly where it rates in my kilometer as far as Freddy goes, but it's right up there. Like that is one of those more gruesome deaths.
It's a memorable one.
And then I love the little comic book nerd. I can't remember his name right now. Which sucks because I literally just watched this movie last week. But like, given how much shit we've had to talk about, like it was hard for me to remember everybody's name. But he was awesome. You know, I love his character that he drew in the comics, and I like how he turns into him, and like Super Freddy. Okay, even though it wasn't Robert Englund, Super Freddy was the shit. I loved Super Freddy. And then just like that whole little fight scene was very comical, you know, literally pun intended.
From that whole scene, I liked when he drops the Greta doll.
And it
shatters and there's blood everywhere. That's what I really liked on that scene.
Yeah, like I like just that whole scene was really cool. And then like when Freddy comes out of Super Freddy and he starts slashing him, and it's like, told you comic books would kill you, and then fucking like just slash him apart, and then instead of blood, it's just like the color.
Yeah, James. Yeah.
I just thought that was really clever. I thought that was really cool for the time.
It was interesting, like they go in depth in the dream world, like they played around with it more.
Exactly. And then this is around a time where comic books are like really picking up steam and they're really fucking popular. Every kid wanted comic books, and then you see something like that, and they're like, not so much, you know, like yeah. But other than that, like
I don't think I dug Freddy skateboarding.
I thought that was funny.
I mean, it was funny. This is definitely the movie where Freddy really becomes kind of a cheeseball.
I have to agree. And speaking of that, we will get to that here in a second. But in general, though, like as far as the whole movie aspect, it just a lot of the characters are forgettable. A lot of the whininess that was in it was just ridiculous. I have a problem with the whole fact that apparently Jacob's dreaming inside her belly and somehow she's dreaming. Like that doesn't make sense to me. I know it's a movie. I know it's all make believe and fictional characters and all that shit. Fun. Yeah, like I get it. I really do. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't. Like it was just bugging me.
It just didn't work. You know what was really cringeworthy for me was Jacob talking in the Freddy voice when he had the little burnt face.
Hey, teach me.
Yeah, like thing. It was every time. Even when I was younger, every